Now, no clips of the week this week. There'll be a bumper crop for you when Andy returns next Friday. So instead we decided that we would ask you to email and text in this afternoon.
Throw it open.
That's right, with some of your favourite clips from over the years, and you've done so, and we've picked out a dirty dozen of some of those that you suggested. Thanks for everybody who did text and email in. And we've got a bunch of them for you this afternoon.
The Talksport Clips of the Week.
With Budget Van Insurance. It's a Van-Man thing.
So, we kick off with Mr. Parry. He's up very, very shortly. And Stoney from Ware in Hertfordshire was among the many people who wanted to hear Mike looking ahead to the World Cup in 2006.
Now, I also believe that Stern John is the pin-up boy. The current pin-up boy of the Trinidadian football setup, you know what I mean? Trinidadian, that's what I meant, the Trinidadian and Toboggan.
just when he's almost pulled it back.
Trinidadian and Toboggan.
Brilliant stuff. Well, Paul from Blackburn, you wanted to hear this one, so this is just for you and all the others that sent it in. Here's Tony Cascarino wanted this parish with news of a party you once went to.
Yeah, well, I said earlier, I went to Tiller the Hun dressed in a fancy dress party.
Really? To be dressed as a fancy dress party does take some doing, doesn't it? Really, you've got a lot of costume, especially at Tiller the Huns.
Yeah, well, it's a tough place. It's a tough gig.
They know their fancy dress there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
More from Cass later on.
Yeah.
But it's Ray Houghton now handing over to the next show.
Well, thanks, mate. Thanks for all your calls, your emails, and your texts this evening. And we'll be back next week. Keep it next up. Next is Talksport is Mate Dickin.
Yeah, well, who was on next? That's David from Newcastle, one of the many people who wanted to hear Ray saying next.
I mean, we haven't done this in any particular order in terms of popularity, but this one, Cy from Bolton, you get the mention, but so many of others could have been mentioned with regard to this one. It's time now to hear Down Under, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
This is Beaky on a roller coaster.
Here we go round and round again, up and down. Oh, that was brilliant.
It's just, the many times Beaky has been Partridge, it's never got any better than that, has it, really?
Glorious.
Yeah, Beaky on a roller coaster. Next up, it's another very popular clip, one we don't play very often, but when we were listening to these earlier on, we were killing ourselves at this one, forgetting just how good a clip it is. Craig Meller remembered it well.
Well done, Craig.
And it's Alan's brilliant impression of Sylvester the Cat.
Russell, question 2. Which ocean goes to the deepest depth?
Can we hear that again, just because it's so quick? Please, just one.
Russell, question 2. Which ocean goes to the deepest depth?
Fucking Thucker's ash. Yeah, well done, Al.
Oh, well done. Yeah, what have we got next?
Next up,
Bazza in Titchfield. This is quality. Mike Mendoza, our overnight man, losing his rag with a caller.
Rosalind's in Ramsgate. Rosalind, good morning to you.
Oh, good morning, Mike.
Hi there.
What I did want to say about the police was, last 2 Fridays ago, a breakfast set, which is a little patio set, got stolen from outside our front door in the port. Well, I think it is disgraceful because, after all, the police are supposed to protect us.
Yeah, Rosalind, why would you leave it outside in the first place?
It was in the port, you know, it's a little breakfast set, so that...
Yeah, hold on, but hold on, was that open to the public, or is it closed off, is it sealed off?
It's in the drive, you know, like you have a drive in a port.
So why leave it there?
And like when...
Rosalind, I'm having a conversation with you, why, oh, for God's sake, why do people do this? I just can't be bothered to talk to people who phone up and just have a rant, instead of having a blooming conversation. It doesn't cost anything, you know, to be polite. And there isn't someone trying to talk to you. You're a stupid old bird for leaving the stuff in your porch in the first place. But anyone can walk up and nick it. Sadly, the police are right, it's a sign of the times. So you don't leave the stuff out for someone to nick it. You're stupid. You're daft. And when you ring up again, in fact, don't ring up again, but if you ever do ring up a radio show again, it's called a phone-in programme. It's a talk-back programme where you talk and the presenter talks. You are a stupid old woman! I'm gonna have a break and I'll be back!
Do you know, he goes into a bit of Peter Cook, Derek and Clive.
He does a bit, yeah.
He could Dolly. He said, Dolly, take a photograph of that.
It was a bit, yeah. What's a breakfast set? It's a little breakfast. What's a breakfast set? We didn't get any closer at what it was anyway.
No.
Well, Tony Cascarino, of course, played in France for Marseille and was a French speaker. So when Robert Perez needed to be interviewed, Cass was the man we sent along. And he translated for us. Robert, happy to speak a bit of English, but much happier in the French. So he did it in the French, and Cass then translated into English for us on Talksport. Until the last question, as you hear, Robert tries a bit of English, but Tony doesn't quite pick that up.
What is it about the Arsenal that makes you feel at home?
Yes, I like it, the England, I like it, London, and for me, Arsenal, I think is the best club in this country.
Yes, I like Arsenal very much. I love living in London, and I feel that Arsenal is the best club in the country.
Yeah, thanks very much for doing that for us, Tony. Yeah, I wouldn't have known what he was talking about otherwise, not being a French speaker. But you can understand why he did it, you know. Mike in Leeds wanted to hear that one again. Thanks, Mike.
This one's for Robbie from Farnham. He wanted to hear again Keith Arthur, and a fisherman's blues caller talking carp.
Go there and put the old rod in. But I tell you, the sweetest sound that I've heard was they was playing with a bit of bread.
Oh, yeah.
And they were coming up and they go...
Yeah, they blow kisses at you, didn't they? Yeah.
No need for that noise at the end, really, was it?
Blows and kisses me like that. I'll be extremely worried.
Never heard a fish do that, have you? No. Well, we had a lot of people ask for this one, a very popular clip. Simon in Banbury is the name we're mentioning, but Simon, one of many people that wanted to hear Mr. Parry again, telling us about the snack he likes in the pub.
I enjoy a packet of peanuts with a pint of shandy.
I know where you're coming from.
Now, I want to know what the peanuts are first. So people think I'm mad. I go into the pub and say, hi, how you doing? What can I get you, sir? I said, well, first of all, what sort of peanuts do you sell?
Never worked out why he said that.
Yeah.
But he's back at 4 with Andy.
Not much more we can say on that.
We can shed some light on that one.
Beaky's back next, thanks to Chris in Derby. Beaky's here during the course of a Saturday afternoon show with the score from the all-important Mansfield-Northampton game.
Okay, Mansfield 1, Northampton 0 in that other player. Sorry, Mansfield 0, Northampton 1. Mansfield 0, Northampton 1. Day getting the goal after 14 minutes play. Northampton 0, Mansfield 1. I beg your pardon. Let me get it right. Northampton 0, Mansfield 1 in that other playoff semi-final which is going on today. That's the Division 3 playoff semi-final. So it's Mansfield 0, Northampton. Sorry, it's Northampton 0, Mansfield 1, let me get it absolutely right, in that other playoff semi-final which is going on today.
It was 0-0 actually, I think it'd been disallowed.
I think the game was over.
Yeah, it was. Well, this is another great old caller. Jim, the Spurs fan, Paul from Norwich, among the people that wanted to hear this caller to Ian Royce, talking about the perils of fags and booze.
Ian, actually, it's cigarettes and alcohol, you know.
Shebang!
On cigarettes and alcohol.
Well, I don't know what I'd do. Cigarettes and alcohol.
Excuse me, Lord.
Obviously, you're a great supporter of that one.
Just 2 seconds.
2 seconds. He kind of gets up, but he almost burps in the middle of that, which is quite bleak.
There's a definite burp.
And this is one of my favourite all-time clips.
Finally, Kieran from Washington, D.C., listening online. Good afternoon to you, Kieran. It has to be Big Alan introducing an overseas expert.
Portugal take on Greece in the big opener. Now let's get a Greek point of view from the Greek daily newspaper Eleftheris Typos. Goodness me, I hope I pronounced that right. And let's say a very good morning to the next guest, George Georgakopoulos. Oh, George, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with I always have struggled with Greek names, George. Good morning.
Good morning. You didn't do too badly, actually.
Talk about the icing on the cake. No, you did pretty well. I did not do bad. Well, guys, thanks ever so much. Among the other people, we can't mention you all. Gav from Bewdley, Ross in Swaddling Coat, Jack Bedell Country, Gareth Merritt, John in Leeds, Ben in Ross and White, Chris in Slough, Jazz in Cheltenham, Glyn, of course, and Paul Forrest, all suggested clips that did or didn't get played. We had loads and loads of requests for those, so I'm sure they'll be back at Christmas in the old Christmas Eve show, but the clips of the week back in their normal slot. Well, we got 2